Hey, what's up? Kelby here from Kid Politics, and today I'm opening up the session for our song Cool About It. It's a song that I co-produced with my bandmate Nick Diamond, and it's one that I actually mixed right here in my studio. So I'm opening up the session that I mixed it in and finished the production. So I wanted to show you some of the things that maybe you can't hear if you're just listening to the song totally without being able to solo some of the key elements that make up the track. So let's get into it. So the first thing you hear in Cool About It is this really ethereal intro with some synths kind of swelling up into the first verse. So the first one is like this lead synth, which is a sample I found from Splice and just really messed with. I changed like a lot of the tuning. I reversed a few things about it. So if you went and found this OG sound, it's similar in a way, but I've really messed with it. So it sounds like this. So you can see there's a little bit of automation on here. So I have little altar boy kind of creating, so it's I've got it like pitched down in a sense, and you can see the mix right here moves. So it just creates a little bit of like some difference on the back end of it. So it's not just this static, the same like sound over and over, but it's really kind of shifting, kind of like you would sing it almost, you know? And then you have these bells, which are awesome. So I wrote that bell part and recorded it mainly for the bridge, and then it turned into something that was in the intro as well. But it's just me on the piano, just you know, and I programmed the MIDI and really dialed into it. But those together are really awesome. And then one of the next things you hear is the kind of the riser into verse one, which is just these orchestra kind of things. I really love orchestral sounds. I think it matches really well with like big pop songs like we do. And then you have the plucks in the verse. So there's just a couple synths that I programmed. It's these two together. And a couple cool things about them, you can see like how I've EQ'd them. I've really kind of taken out all the lows, taken out all the highs. I really want it to just kind of be this really vibey mid-range pluck. And one of my favorite tools that I've started using on a lot of stuff is this. And here's Nick Diamond calling me. Nick! What's good, playa? Oh, dude, I am. Okay, now that I'm off the phone with Nick. So, I was saying one of my favorite plugins that I've started using is this from Native Instruments called Transient Master, and you can hear it on these plucks. So, it's basically allowing me to dictate like the attack and the sustain of sounds. And so, without it, it's like these plucks are like this. So you can tell there's not a ton of definition to them, but I was able to like pull a little bit of the attack back, but pull the sustain, which is how long the notes are being held out. Pull that back, and so it kind of defines them more and kind of makes them like dictates how much space they're taking up rhythmically. So now it's like this. And of course, I have just a little bit of reverb on these guys. Just some ambient stuff going on there, just to give it some like that club space. There is what I really wanted that to feel like. Cool About It has a ton of like random ear candy things going on all over the place and in little moments. And here's one in the verse. This is just like a pad. So it's very minor, but it interacts with these plucks just like this. Just creating some space, and then you have this hit here as well. It's just really that those pads in the background creating kind of this ambient space there. Also, one thing in the verse, percussion wise, that I really, really, really love is these snaps. And it's actually, if you can see, they're actually lighter sounds. So I love that. We do that so much in Kid Politics songs where I find like these like I don't really love a lot of times like just a normal snap sound. So a lot of times I'll find like these percussion things that are kind of they're not too bright, but they just kind of add this really cool texture. A lot of it kind of sounds like a clock sound, but it's not a clock. So this is like a literally like a lighter, which sounds so sick to me. I love it. And you can see as well in the chorus, there's like a couple added things in there, so you can hear that same. Which is the same idea that I mentioned from Why Can't It Be Us, where I have one snap that's like, where I'm like transposing them a little bit, and it's creating a little bit of a clock sound. I freaking love that. And then of course we have the good old EDM snare build that I grabbed a sample of and really just messed with it and did some really cool things to it. But it's just like. In all the choruses as well, I have this static sound back there. You can hear. It's just like just some static sound that I grabbed, and it just helps create a really cool texture in the song. So, and also have like this ghost rhythm guy, which is in a lot of the stuff I work on, whether it's Kid Politics or not, but it's just kind of sonically taking up some cool space. So the two of those together is pretty magical. And a big thing that makes up this chorus is like this 808 bass. So they work together like this. Just really gnarly. So it's two 808s working together. So you have Low Daddy here. Low Daddy. Then you have the high guy. Which you can see, like, I'm taking out a ton of the low end out of this actually. And it's just so that they complement each other and work together as one sound. So that mixed with static and ghost rhythm is really dope. Another key element of this chorus is these guitars, which is called guitar plucks. So like. So those guys are just kind of creating a really dope, like low guitar thing right there, just keeping the rhythm and keeping the song moving forward. And that's just me and my telly. A couple of other random things, synth-wise, in the song is this guy here. This is in the chorus still. Also, I have what I call Wakanda vocal, but essentially it's like this was just me singing into the mic, and I tuned it and did a bunch of things to it. And it's like this just this really ambient background vocal thing that just helps move the song along. And it's in all of the post choruses, but it's just my voice going something like that. And I just tuned it really tightly, added a bunch of effects to it, panned it around a little bit, And yeah, came out really cool. Sounds like it's a really tribal situation to me, which I thought was dope. So also in these post courses, I have this like what I call guitar synth distortion. So it's just this really big synth kind of filling up some harmonic space. Check it out. I really love like those distorted harmonics are just taking up some really cool space in the song and making it really gnarly, really big, really rock bandish. Even rock bandish for like a pop song. I love that stuff. Also in verse 2, we have these like synth vocals creating a bunch of ear candy. You can hear Nick and I really dialed in where these are placed in the song, so you can hear them here. I'll just press play so you can hear them. Slow until I get my coffee. And you can hear how it sounds in context here. So they're just like filling up space, moving the track along. It's a little bit more of that than in verse 1. So we're just kind of keeping the pace going. We're moving on to something new, you know. That's what it feels like to me. And it keeps that like we're in this ethereal club kind of vibe going. Like there's just stuff bouncing left and right. So Cool About It's really cool to listen to with headphones in because there's so much going on behind the scenes. So, and I love on the back end of this bass, you have this little slide thing. It's really dope. That synth bass, I just automated some tuning and stuff to make it feel like a slide. So in these post choruses as well, like where's the big part right after the chorus? We can never be. So that part coming up where it's like the big band, rock band moment. The bass is such a massive instrument. It's almost like the bass is the lead instrument almost. So I'll show you what all of that feels like. Then I'll individually show you because there's like five of these guys making up that bass sound. So check this out. Whoop, we got a little system overload. There's so much going on in the song. But essentially we have this guy, and it's all kind of pulsing. Really low. If you have headphones in, you probably can't even hear that. And then you have this guy just working together with a really low one as well. It's like freaking out on me. And then you have this. And then you have this guy, which is like a high-end bass. You can see I really filter the lows out just to give like some more definition, audible definition to the bass. So it's not all just like that low end pumping through, but you have like a full EQ spectrum of a bass mixed together well. So all together, as again. Yeah, it's not going to keep playing. Massive session here. But yeah, there's the bass. So the bridge of this song breaks down to like this really cinematic, like super cinematic moment where you have these gang vocals singing oohs. You have it kind of goes down to this piano with a bunch of like cinematic drums that are building up, like even some tribal sounding stuff in there mixed in. So I'll show you a bit of that. So it drops down to this piano, beautiful piano. You can hear the pulse on it. Keeping the rhythm going, the vibe going there. I'll show you the drums here. Let me solo just the drum bus here. I'm trying to remember how all my buses are run. So listen to just the drums of this bridge. Big claps. It's a really cinematic moment that I really love. There's so much more going on in this track and in this session that I just don't have time to go into because it would take so much longer. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. It's a really fun thing for me to go back and remember how these songs are made. Big shout out to my bandmate and co-producer Nick Diamond for working on this one with me. It became something special that the song is really meaningful to us. I'm so happy it's out. Go listen to Cool About It by Kid Politics. Peace.
We can never be